Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Gemini. If Gemini is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so Gemini, our card today is the 8. I was going to say the 4. It's not the 4. It's the 8 of discs, which has everything to do with prudence. Okay, and let's go ahead and take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. Okay. So immediately I was looking up here and it looks like we have, it looks like EM right here, and those could be initials or it could be the name M, maybe Emily or Emma or something like that. We also have right here, I was looking and it looks like an M, and I saw that it looks like an A. I think at first I thought, okay, this is MO maybe, but it's no, it looks like M8. Okay, M8. Okay. So we have a person on a horse right here, okay? And you can see that it looks like they even have horns maybe. Kind of a Taurus energy. Maybe even Sagittarius, kind of a Minotaur type of deal. But here's the thing. We have also, if you turn this way, it looks like a fish, okay? And down here we have the same, a fish. Now we have the horse moving towards that symbol. The fish indicates to me money, abundance, right? Resources. If you kind of think of like the fish as being the thing we go to catch and we catch a bunch of it and then we can feed our family, right? So this is a symbol of, resources. So being on the horse is a symbol of movement. Okay, you get upon your horse and you ride out into the the sun. But yeah, I do. I feel like there is this energy towards really focused on making that money, right? And that really, really does go along with the 8 of discs. So we're talking about like material world matters, okay? So I think that you are very focused on making the money, working to do so, being creative and innovative, and maybe even like kind of starting your own business. Maybe you're starting a YouTube channel. Maybe you are an artist and you are selling your creations. Maybe you are looking for a job that better suits your interests and your skills and whatever, your schedule and everything else. But I do think that this is kind of the big work of right now. Okay, very focused on that. And I feel like there is a real sense of luck and success coming your way because we have the fish there, we have the fish up here, we have the fish right above the head as well, you can see. We also have a face right here that looks like it's kind of smiling. So immediately I'm thinking, yeah, this is like maybe not like the big windfall you've been looking for, but it is quite satisfying. There is a sense of, yeah, like really coming into your ability, your success. You are seeing, you know, the output, and it's not too shabby. So I feel like in this next period of time, and really this one, it does look like an 8 as well. So I'm thinking maybe this is like the next 8 weeks, next 8 months, you know, more than likely 8 months. This will be the time where, yeah, you're making more and more money. Excuse me, I had to get a little drink there. And I feel like a time of excitement, of happiness, of, you know, enjoying. And it just feels good in general. They're just, if you can look at this card over here, it is the tree with the flowers are blooming. And if you know anything about how fruit trees work, they bloom, and then the fruit starts to come from those blooms, and then grow into, you know, a beautiful apple or peach or nectarine or plum or whatever it is. And so it is. I feel like this is going to end up being a really fruitful harvest for you. Okay. And we'll continue kind of turning this. Okay, so it looks like almost looks like we have like a jack-o'-lantern here. You can see kind of the eyes and then the mouth kind of grinning. Above it, we have a stag. Okay, the stag in my own personal relationships, the symbols, is one of the most sacred, having to do with spiritual work. Okay, this is a sign of great power. This is that primal virility really coming through, the fiery energies. I often think of kind of, you know, like a cool morning, right? Out in the meadow, right along the line of the forest. And it's kind of dewy. The stag is walking out of the forest and standing and breathing, and there is you know, the steam coming out of its mouth. You can see its breath, and it is just a sight to behold. It is so powerful. It is so primal. It is, you know, something to behold, something that's almost kind of terrifying, right? And so I'm looking at this and I'm feeling like, yeah, there really is this kind of power rising in your being. I feel like you are very connected to your faith, very connected to your spiritual work. It is very present in your daily life. You are often seeing repeating numbers, symbols that are showing up everywhere, synchronicities. Maybe you keep hearing the same word over and over, a concept or something that you had not noticed previously, but it is showing itself to you. And I feel like when you get into these places of noticing, of seeing, yeah, you really are coming into this power. And it feels so natural to you that you are a natural seer, that you are somebody who peers beyond the veil, right? And I think at times there can be kind of a disconnect between that physical, mundane life that you have, the work that you're doing, and going about the tedium, the errands and the responsibilities and so on. And then there's the spiritual life, and those things don't always seem or feel like anyways that they cross over. But when they do, and when you can kind of balance through that, weave it into each other, that's when we get this really powerful kind of surge of energies flowing through your life. And I feel like you have full access to that. I wouldn't be surprised if you are somebody who, is yourself maybe a reader, or maybe like a life coach, or some kind of counselor, a spiritual, the real spiritual friend in the friends group, right? You're the one that's always kind of like dropping knowledge on people and talking about things that maybe they don't otherwise think about that much, or don't really have kind of the same experiences as you, but you kind of sit around and you hold court. You talk about these dreams you're having, and these books you've read and experiences you've had, and it's all very functional. It's not like what they call kind of in the occult world or esoteric world, or really anything, but it's the armchair occultist, right? This is somebody who spends all their time on the internet reading books, or philosophizing about the work, but they don't partake in it themselves necessarily. They have a lot of judgments and a lot of kind of dogmatic beliefs, and it's all based off of things that they have not experienced. It's anecdotal through other authors or magicians or practitioners or whatever, and they form their opinions, and that kind of becomes their own prison. And there are a lot of people in the scene that are kind of like this, and I think it's not abnormal, right? This is something I think that happens especially in kind of those first stages of like neophyte, right? And or even still in the profane. But I feel like you're somebody who isn't really, you don't succumb to that, right? Now, you might be well read, and you might have a lot of understanding through other people's experience, but I think that you also put it to work. You're not somebody that's just going to be satisfied by taking on the account of another. You want to do it yourself. You want to see, you want to feel, you want to be in the thing, not just an observer standing on the outside. So I feel like this is a place where there's just such intense energy. Now, we also have that jack-o'-lantern face, and I wonder, coming up here in those later months of the year, October, right, around Halloween, All Hallows Eve, All Saints Day, Day of the Dead, these kind of, later in the year holidays, feasts and so on. I feel like this will align for you in something that you're doing. And I really do feel it connected back to where we were talking about you moving towards making money, doing something that you really care about, that you believe in, that you can put yourself into. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you are harnessing some of your clairvoyant, mediumship, divining, or maybe you are a magical practitioner, right? Or, you know, maybe you are somebody who belongs to a religious system, and I don't know, maybe you're like writing some kind of book or poetry, or you are becoming, you know, part of the church. You are taking on a role of some kind. Whatever it is, yeah, I think that there will be the ability to kind of provide for yourself in some way that will come through this. Maybe it won't be your number one day job or whatever, but I do think that it is something where, yeah, it will bring in those resources, and especially the emotional and spiritual resources that I know that you are seeking out as well, okay? Okay, so we have the number 13. And we have 717. No. It looks like 777. I was going to say 717, but no, this one is also a 7. So 777. So that's that jackpot energy. We also have a heart up here. Okay, so, you know, all of this coming together, there's also a love, a deep love here. And that might be a romantic relationship. It might be, you know, your love for whatever else you have going on. Now we have OMI right there as well. Yeah, so we also have that heart, and we turn it. It's a person who is reading. So I do feel like, yeah, there's study here. And that makes sense if you are going into kind of expanding your business or your career, or, you know, having a side hustle. There's a lot of learning that has to go along with whatever you're doing, you know. So I think that this is a time where you're also establishing yourself, but continuing your learning in the situation. So a wonderful balance between the mundane, the emotional, and the spiritual. Okay, all of these things coming together. All right, so we have a little bee up here, busy bee. We also have the head of a ram. So we have an Aries person, I think, hanging around somewhere here. They seem, quite prominent. We also have the moon with them. So I feel like this is a kind of distorted relationship. Maybe one that sometimes it's really on, and then other times it's like you've completely lost contact. But I feel like in this time period coming up here, they will be present in your life, definitely. Hanging out more often, doing things together. And I think, you know, ultimately, there's an enjoyment here. I don't think that you necessarily lament the fact that your friendship or your relationship, your romance or whatever it is, it kind of goes in cycles. I think this comes naturally to you and to them, so it doesn't feel like any kind of slight. I just realized how dirty my nails are. I've been out in the mud. Well, the dirt. Mud and dirt. Well, you can't see them. They're kind of blurry, I guess. But been out in the garden, which has been a lot of mud lately with all the rain we've had. We have a lot of extensive flooding in our area, which has been absolutely heartbreaking. But, you know, it's hopefully starting to recede. I think the rivers and the lakes have crested mostly, so that's a good thing. Anyway, so we do have the bee. So yeah, busy times, lots of energy, maybe even anxious energy at times, a lot of multitasking, going from one thing to the next. So here is my reminder to you, Gemini, slow down. Take it slow. Go easy, okay? Don't burn yourself out. You might be kind of in a state of like hypomania, especially if you're in the northern hemisphere. Summer feels like it's just constant. Let's go. We got lots to do. Especially where I live, everybody you come across is just going because we have like 6 months of weather that is below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. Below 70 degrees Fahrenheit. And a lot of it, we are in like snow, right? Lots of snow and whatever. So as soon as it gets warm, you better be outside taking advantage. You better be going. So it might be, yeah, kind of this really, really intense, like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to do that. I'm going to finish all my things. Now, right? But I do feel, tempering of self so important. Don't want to get burnt out. And also finishing things. When we get into these modes, it's hard to get anything done with quality, right? So sometimes we really have to like pump the brakes and remember, okay, I'm just going to breathe and we're going to get through this and we'll be done. And, and then I can get on to my next thing, but I need to complete my tasks, right? So just maybe bringing in a little bit of the mindfulness, and that might be quite helpful for you ultimately. Okay, so let's also do our divine doors, and I'm just going to go ahead, flip through and stop where it feels right. Okay, and it says, Anthony's call, and thanks of my spirit, safe and sound, all things that are lost, so can be found. All things that are lost, so can be found. Beautiful. Okay, Gemini, I'm going to go ahead and tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. I hope you all had a wonderful Gemini season. It's hard when it's over, isn't it? But you know what? Now it's time to kind of just slow it down a little bit. Even though you're on 110%, I know it. But yes, if you would be so kind as to like the video, it really does help the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And what else? Oh, if you want to leave a comment, please do. Especially if you're new to the channel, if this is your first time watching. Oh yes, please let me know. I love hearing from you. And I love hearing from all the new people especially. So, yeah, with that I will say I love you. I love you. I love you. Take care of yourself. We'll talk again real soon. And yeah, have a good day.